Hi guys, this is Namcraft. What's going on? Welcome to this is Starcraft English commentary. We're going to continue with ASL S19. This is prelims day 2. We're going to be having some games from the group 5. The finals of group 5, Leta versus Shuttle, TVP. And this is the second final of TVP that Shuttle has faced. In the previous day 1, he lost against Royal in a very climatic finish. And let's see if he's going to be able to get a nice win today against his opponent. The map is going to be Deja Vu, one game ahead, one game per player already so far, one win per player. And let's see how these guys will be performing. Looks like 12 Nexus coming out from Shuttle, very ballsy. His opponent is scouting in the right direction. So things are going to be looking very interesting, and the probe is scouting in the wrong direction. Yeah, it's going to be going for cross map scouting. No, it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be going for cross map scouting. We're going to be having a gateway coming up soon. So let's see how these units are going to be able to respond here. Before we dive into the specificities of this map, let us just firstly show you some information. So first of all, here are the map stats for Terran players versus Protoss win rates. There they are. And of course, we're looking at Deja Vu. This is the map. Let me just quickly show you where it is. Here is Deja Vu. So on Deja Vu, you can see that Terran players, they enjoy a 55.4% win rate against Protoss. So this is the best map for Terran. Looks like Leta is going to just expand. Very interesting. Usually the Terran player, when they see this early Nexus and they're so close located to the enemy, he would send some SCV trains over, but maybe he's got a different plan. He doesn't want to deviate from that plan. We're seeing a Zelle being made now, and Leta will coming with a Marine. There's going to be a course. This is not a double gateway build, this is a single gateway build. And only now does Shadow see decision. He's going to try to attack against the one probe. That probe is going to run away. Return the cargo, man. The Zealot is here. That probe is going to try to glitch out. He's going to try to attack. And looks like at the last minute, Leta's not able to penetrate, so he's going to have to play from behind. What else I want to show you? First of all, let's show you the players' faces so that you are going to be able to put a face to a name here. Mr. Shuttle, this is his avatar. He is mainly a terrorist sidekick nowadays. He actually doesn't play that much Starcraft, but when ASL comes around, he suddenly appears, just like the likes of Storks and Diesel. These days, they're not streaming anymore. And his opponent is going to be Leta. Let's just quickly what Leta looks like. This is a recent picture actually, because Leta in the old day looks very different. This is a brand new and improved Leta, 35-year-old virgin Leta. Yeah, he does look like a virgin, doesn't he? So that's him. And let me just quickly, okay, Zealot getting past the bunker, very interesting. They will get inside the main now, and one of the Zealots still have full health, full shield, nice SCV getting sniped. He's gonna try to go for the SCV that is building one of the factory. He doesn't go for it. He's gonna go all the way inside the main, and there's gonna be a chance to get some SCV. Another one goes down. He will go for the Marine. That Marine will live. That Marine is very close to dying, but it's going to live. And now 2 fact has been revealed. So what is going to be Shuttle's plan here? Yeah, let me just go back to what I was going to tell you. I just going to quickly show you the ELO scores. So first of all, the ELO scores of the players playing today are here. This is what I want to show you. On the right side, we have the best players in broodwar. But I just want to quickly check with you where Shuttle and Leta are standing. So Shuttle, this week he is at number 47, very low, with an ELO scores of 1044. He's 1044 only, and Leta is even lower. No, Leta is about the same, a little bit better. 41, he's ranked 41. ELO score is 1078. So Leta is supposedly on paper a little bit better than Shuttle, so that's a cool thing to know. I thought Leta is no longer in Starcraft, like competitive Starcraft, but I guess he's still duking it out. Alright, what are we going to be having next thing here? Observatory and Reaver ship coming out from Shuttle. Shuttle, just staying true to his name, will be using a Shuttle very early on. We're going to be having some nice, warding up in terms of turrets and pylon. This probe is very unfortunate that it will die. And the vulture would lay a mine, possibly. No, he leaves the area. Looks like there's gonna be vulture, mass vulture with shuttle and mines coming. Excuse me, speed and mine coming out. The Reaver is gonna have the support of the fast shuttles. Dragoon range upgrade is slightly late. That is what we're seeing right now. Dragoon's gonna try to come back and chase his vulture away. The vulture's already finished the upgrade of the speed, and now it's got mines, so it's gonna lay a mine here. And I guess Shuttle will need to manually deactivate that mine. He can do that, right? Because it's not that hard. He gets the mine destroyed, and now we have a Nexus that comes up, and there's gonna be, is that an entry bay with a turret under it or what? There is no turret under it. It's just a normal entry bay, but there's a turret behind that. He will lay a Zelle out just to buy time. That was so Shuttle. That was shuttling, very shuttling. And that was so shuttleish. I mean, if we lose today because of that mistake, that is just sad. Anyways, the second Reaver comes out, and there is going to be some fast forward in the gameplay by the Korean commentators, because maybe we want to see the battles happening very soon. A lot of Reavers coming out, and he's gonna pick up the Shuttle and the Reavers possibly. And very funny. We ever see this in Africa Star League, casting this kind of ×2 or ×4. He will come through, and this is gonna be a bit better. He's about to lose another Shuttle, but he will get a Zelle out inside. Probes getting transferred, and this is so Shuttle. I mean, this is borderline bad. But now those vultures are gonna get destroyed, and the Shuttle's gonna be hiding in the corner. It still has got a Reaver and a Zelle inside it. Dragoon's gotta be, pitch. What? He's forgotten about his Shuttle. He will leave his area now. He will come out. His APM tells the story. 260 versus 34. At least this base is gonna get cleared out, so that's good. And are we back to the normal speed? I guess we are. We're gonna be having Forge +1 and the Templar Archive. Alright, there's a lot of factories coming out from Leta, a total of 6 factories, a lot of Goliaths, and the third base has been saturated. Keep in mind that Leta is keeping an eye on the top right on the screen. He's not allowing any kind of probe to go there and set up some bases, so that's good. A nice observer coming through. I think that's an observer from Shuttle to check out the situation. Alright, I grabbed my coffee. Thanks for your support. I was able to get myself a coffee. So maybe it's the moment to say a word of thanks and appreciation to those people. Mr. C. Goblin, I'm drinking coffee because of you. Mr. Z, you are disgusting. Mr. McDonald, how's it going selling McDonald's? And the His Holiness Garonetti, how are you doing in Italy? Let me know in the video comments. And are you enjoying these games? Who is your favorite player? And I need to have your email address, so send it to me now. I need it. Namcraft need it. Alright, so let's go back to this game. What are we seeing? We'll be having Templar strategy come out from Shuttle. We're looking at a 10-minute and almost 10-minute mark of the game. Supply wise, Shuttle is ahead by possibly about 20 supply. He's gonna be losing his Reaver once again. It's so shuttling to see him being so shuttleish like this. Tank's gonna start to come out, and once again Shuttle's gonna press back. He's gonna just use his Reaver slowly but surely to ensure that he's got some nice advantage. Goliaths are getting ready to pick up that Shuttle any moment now. This is really hard to do, man. Only Snow can do it. The other guys, they try to mimic Snow. They try to be very cute with this kind of Shuttle contain, but only Snow can do it perfectly. Vulture's gonna get ready to come out, but I think Shuttle is getting ready to go for some huge storm drops, or maybe just a frontal attack with a lot of Shuttles. Anyways, this Shuttle's gonna go and hide somewhere else. The main army start to come out, start to face this Terran's main army. Shuttle want to make sure there's gonna be no other ways for the units to face enemies unit to get across the map. Yeah, keep in mind that Shuttle is still on 3 bases, got 1,300 minerals in the bank. He's not yet expanding. He will possibly expand soon. I'm not so sure exactly when and how and where, because he's now just using his money to build stuff. But we're gonna be having a nice vulture run by here. That's a lot of vultures moving towards the top right. we have some attack. Is it going to be the final attack or just going to be a nice testing the water? Looks like, yeah, this Shuttle is not going to be able to do anything for the time being. We have a Shuttle, we have an observer that goes just to check. He possibly might send a Zelle just to eat up the mine. And yeah, keep in mind that Shuttle is still on 3 bases. Well, I guess Leta is still on 2, so technically these 2 players are about the same. They're very careful, they're very methodical, very scrupulous of what they're doing. Alright, more Zealots start to come out, and these Dragoons will want to clear some of the mines just to get the maximum, surface area possible. And no 3rd base at all from Leta. He's not, okay, there is a command center, but he doesn't dare to lift it. He knows that there's no presence of any other bases on this map. He knows he just needs to stick to his bases and not lose too much. This is why he's not yet so keen on moving that command center out. He just rather prefer to, solidify his position. Alright, just some tank shots there. Not so sure exactly what was dropped. That's a huge amount of Zealot. We're going to be having high triple dropping. So be careful not to drop it against the mine. He does a great mine, eating up all of the vultures. He does another good storm, eating up 2 tanks. We need to have 1 more storm to kill up those tanks, and those 2 tanks are gone. More storms from the high ground. Nice attack against only 1 tank, though. He will cast 1 more storm, possibly need to eat up that tank, and he does eat up the tank. And 4 tanks at the backside will get saved. If he actually got 2 storms on those 4 tanks, it would be a lot better, but he doesn't have any more main power. I was gonna say main power. And yeah, that probe's gonna get sniped, so that's not gonna be very good. Alright, we're looking at a single vulture waiting to snipe the probe that comes out to plan the new base, guys. So keep that in mind. Yeah, the vulture snipe it right away. But you can see that blue dots start to disappear away from the map. These Shuttles need to run away. I'm not so sure there's, I think that possibly 2 Reavers inside it. Beautifully storm on those 2 tanks. He will storm again. He has a nice rotation of the high Templar. He's rotated the weak ones out, and these tanks are overextending themselves. He's waiting to go into the high Templar. Is going to get picked up. The high Templar gets sniped, but so many vultures died in the process. He will cast another great storm. Go for the Zealot. The Zealot will actually do a great shot and pull back. Nice attack, and the high Templar will once again get picked up. This is the way to play as a Templar strategy. Just go for massive high Templars and Zealot and Shuttle. Nothing else. Dragoon is just a couple of Dragoons just to add flavor to the dish, guys. But this dropship has been completely spotted by the probe. So what is up with that? We're going to be witnessing some reshuffling of the army here. We're looking at a 40-minute mark of the game, and Shuttle is 154 supply. Leta just behind by about 35 supply, 130-ish. That is 25 supply differential, right? Yeah, I think so. Anyways, triple Shuttle start to come out now. And yeah, I think Leta is able to secure this, but a lot of things are going to fly across. The Goliaths is looking to do some sniping here. Nice explosive mine onto those units, and we're gonna be having the 4th base now finally coming up for Shuttle. And as well, okay, we have some tanks on the high ground. He will try to snipe the Dragoons. Gonna be very careful. One of the Dragoon is so damaged, and Shuttle's gonna land some Zealot possibly to drive the mine onto the tank. And I guess this drop has been completely, thwarted. And the Dragoon's gonna try to clear out the vultures. Shuttle is now only ahead by about 10 supply, not so much here. And Leta is looking good for his bases. We need to think about the next stage of stack, or maybe Shuttle would just not really think about it, because he's very happy with his strategy, just massive Shuttles. And at some point I think he wants to go for the double robo as well. Usually that is the case when you wanna, just really perfect the Templar strategy. Alright, looks like Leta is being very careful, just gonna stick on his side of the map, not doing much here, not venturing outside, because a wrong move he can eat up a lot of storms. 3 Shuttles looking to go for some storm drops, very nice. The expansion is a nice ideal target. There's a floating building there, however, he needs to be super careful not to, move the Shuttle with the most useful units first. Need to use the one with the Zealot. He comes right through. There's some Zealot. High Templar will cast some storm against the SCV. That is a nice storm. He will cast another storm, killing almost all of the SCVs at this base. And Zealot just buying time. He will cast another storm. That is a great storm, eating up so many SCV. He will cast one final storm. He will cast a storm on the tank. He might cast another storm on that tank. He casts a great storm. What an amazing trade. He traded perfectly. He's going to have 2 more storm in the area. He's going to be able to cast a storm here against the SCV. He will get a storm once again to that SCV line. He needs to cast it right now. He casts the thing. He missed everything here. He will cast another one that will hit the vultures. He will cast 1 more in the main, and that was a lot of good trade. Now there's going to be some tanks and vultures shouting here. All of these zealots will eat up and just die because of the storm. Alright, Dragoon's going to be super careful. He's going to try to do some moving shots back. He's got a cannon in front of the middle line, so that will cover a lot of his bases. And now Shuttle's coming up to 3 more bases. He's going to be coming up to 6 bases. That's a lot of bases. The Vulture's going to try to snipe this Nexus. Alright, looks like this Nexus is going to force itself on cancellation. And Shuttle, we need to replan that. He is on even supply with Leta, which usually signals that the Terran place is slightly ahead, but in the terms of the number of bases that Shuttle has taken, it seems that he's not doing too shabby himself. Leta's find it very difficult to take yet another base. Both of these players are playing a little bit more careful than usual, I would say, because usually they would be a little bit more aggressive. But it seems like Leta is, of course, he doesn't want to spoil his first ever ticket to the ASL. I think his first ticket ever, right? I think so. As for Shuttle, he is one of the former champion of ASL. If you don't know already, he is, yeah, he's definitely one of the former champions. You can see it here. I just quickly show you. There it is. Oh no, not that one. Here's what I want to show you. Shuttle is up here. He's got 1 gold, 0 silvers, and 0 bronzes. He's the gold only guy. Oh my god, these probes need to run away. Hydra who casts a storm. He casts a storm on the vultures. That turtle I think is dying as well, getting sniped. And now those vultures are going to be hiding in the back probes to run away. We have a cannon just waiting to do its work here. The cannon will get destroyed. The Zealot is here to do some nice shot. And at the last minute, all these vultures without the cannon saves itself. Alright, what is happening with this game now? Still no clear victor in sight. Shuttle is maxed out. Yeah, he's got his 5 bases. He needs to get ready to take another base at some point. As for JJ, I think he's gonna try to take the middle base. Good storm. Good storm to drive these vultures away, and then those units will need to get picked up in the future. Zealot coming who just clearing the mines by hand here. Not the good efficient way to do it. That mine exploded all over the goddamn army. But anyways, we're going to be having the Terran player he needs to actually move his command center here to actually expand here, man. The Protoss forces got +3 weapon, +0 armor. And as for Terran, I would just check quickly, but I think something like +2 and +2 is, yeah, +2 and +2 right now is what a Terran side has. I mean, we're going to be having Triple Shuttle trying to land some shots here, but he's playing against a high ground position. He doesn't want to do that. A lot of gateway being made, and maybe possibly 1 more Zealot storm dropping onto the vultures at some point. Alright, he goes through, he clears some forces, he will clear this other turret. And at the last minute, Shuttle is gonna get pushed back. Shuttle 1,500 minerals in the bank. As you know, when you play Temptor strategy, you tend to float a lot of money, because this strategy doesn't require brute force, mass production of units. It's requiring a lot of meticulous micro, trying to attack the right bases, trying to get as much trade as possible before dying. And now we're gonna be having a lot of moving units here. Zealot coming through. Hydra as well to cast a storm on the SCV. That is a great storm. The second storm is amazing. He will clear out so many forces, and those Hydras still have energy left. He will just cast some random energy on some random units. He used all of the energy. Keep in mind that each of these shuttles have, each of these Hydras have been upgraded with the energy upgrade, so you can cast 3 storms each. Alright, 20-minute mark on the game, and we're still not yet clear who's going to be able to win here. Leta finally has his 4 bases. Shuttle is still on 5. Alright, some nice attacks coming in the middle of the map. Shuttle is gonna come through. He comes in from all sides. Is he gonna succeed or not? He's maxed out. So many siege tank. I think he just needs to storm the SCVs and retreat. He doesn't need to do anything else. Storm the tank. He's gonna storm that tank. He will come through. He will storm 1 more. He does a great storm against the D-Matrix tank. He stormed the other tank, but he loses. Another hijack in the process, but he will storm that tank once again. Possibly, no, he's gonna back up here. Very, very nice last minute D-matrix by the sciences. So SVs will return to mining, but this base is so hard to keep as Terran because it's so easy to storm from the other side of the you know, you can just storm like this, but there's gonna be another nice attack. He's gonna fly in from the other side. He's gonna drop some Zealot here, and those tanks need to unsiege, but they're not yet unsieging. There's gonna be a nice mine explosion. The Shuttle's got a lot of high temperatures and great storm to kill up so many SCV. The base here is completely toasted. And the Archon, of course, will fall, but there's very few SCVs remaining now for Leta. We need to think about another way to find some, you know, some additional sources of income. Leta is like very cash strapped. You see his mineral count is going up very slowly. Shuttle is like floating a lot of minerals. Alright, some nice exchanges between these two players. Shuttle's gonna back up to green faster on the high ground and try to recuperate. Probe's gonna get transferred. He needs to transfer probes towards a new base right here as well, man. And yeah, max out Shuttle's army versus Leta behind about 30 supply. Shuttle can just rinse in to run, you know, go inside, destroy some of the enemy's you know, units, SV line, and then back out and repeat basically. Very tense moments, 22 seconds of game, and Shuttle is surrounding the enemy, but he's not getting anything done. Keep in mind, this map has an odd number of bases. So I guess if the middle bases goes to Terran, then things will be slightly tilted towards Terran's flavor, right? But let's see how that will manifest itself out. Alright, looks like one Dragoon's gonna fall here, and Shutter's looking forward to possibly take that area for himself. More forces coming through. Zealot just to take the bait of the engine bay, but now we're going to be having storm on the tanks. That tank hit some. That storm hit a lot of units. There's going to be more Zealot. There's going to be a mine drag. He will storm a lot of the units. He needs to storm those SCV. He does a great storm that kills all of the SCV. He stormed the tank as well. He does storm the tank several times. He does a great storm. He eats up all of the tanks in this base. You know, it's like a freaking flood that went to destroy an entire town, man. Because before that, this town was booming, was thriving, and now it's no longer in its former self. It's just a desert town. That base is gonna go to Shuttle now. I guess not really to Shuttle, but he will have a chance to clear it out. More units gonna get created from both of the players. Good storms. Alright, looks like Leta is gonna decide to attack. He's unsieged most of his tanks. He's not yet maxed out, but maybe it's gonna be a moment for him to start to go somewhere else and get some things done before Shadows is gonna grow out too much with too many high templars. These unsieged tanks, what are they gonna try to do? They need to just make a decision right now. Alright, more forces coming across the map. What the freaking hallucinated shadows here. This is sticking true to the name. We're gonna be having some shadow coming through, and they will fall very, very quickly, but the real shadows got some Zealot with some nice mine explosion. Great storms. Once again, there are very few SCVs, so actually it doesn't matter that much if he doesn't get all of the SCVs, because there are very few to start with. They will be hiding in the corner. And those Dragoons gonna try to push against these vultures. And what is Leta doing? He's not clearing out those two Dragoons at the top left. Some nice attack here. These tanks are trying to shell towards the 1 o'clock position, but there's a lot of Zealot and Archon and Dragoons waiting. It's gonna be better for him to reinforce from the other side at the 1 o'clock position, man, with some fast shadow and drop some high templars waiting for the tank to shell. Then when the tanks are no longer shelling, just drop your high templar and cast a storm. That's gonna be the best move, I think. Alright, just some nice attacks between the two players. 24th minute mark of the game, and Shuttle is still looking for his ticket back into the ASL since the previous seasons where he was eliminated. At the last minute, these tanks in the clear out. Zealot's is gonna try to have some nice trades against a tank. Alright, some nice attacks happening. This is, you know what, I think one of you guys on TR.net has recommended this game. This game is, I think, so far what we've seen is really amazing, but it just lacks that wow factor. You know, it's long, and of course, even from my book, a long game really deserves merits, but sometimes short games can be fun as well. and not necessarily all of the long games are that fun. Anyways, these tanks are gonna start to come out. Zealot will come to attack right now. It's a Dragoon as well. He can support it. He comes through. He gets the first tank. He gets the second tank. Zealot need to keep on going. Nice D-Matrix. And that tank will be safe. He will cast a storm to clear it out though, and the science vessel is gonna cast a nice EMP on those high templars, but it ate up a lot of storms. Anyway, 26-minute mark of the game, and the game is still too close to call. How many bases do we have for Terran? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this commands it floated over or something like that. 5 bases. For Protoss, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 only. I don't understand why Leta is just not able to penetrate. I mean, he's about the same bases as his enemy. Usually, we don't want to have the Protoss player have, 3 or 4 bases more than you. But if they have 1, you are in a lead. That's what they say. But there's going to be more stuff flying through. And looks like the Goliaths are not responding. There's going to be a mine drag. Very few SCVs going to storm all of the vultures. They will all die, including the Goliath, man. And now Zelle's gonna attack against the tank, and there's gonna be a nice mine explosion as well on the tank. So that position has been harassed several times, and it's gonna fall now. Except this 1 o'clock position itself is also might fall. Alright, some good storms, and I apologize. I'm about to start to talk in tongues now because I'm starting to have dreams. I'm gonna start to see visions and nightmare because I'm very tired, but I'm gonna stick until the end of this game. For all of us to watch here what is exactly happening. More tanks coming through, and this base is possibly going to be falling. Shuttle is going to try to save it with his Dragoons here. Okay, this base is going to get cleared out. How many shuttles does he make? Does he have 3, Robo? I mean, it looks like he loses most of his shuttle, and all of a sudden, like 1 minute later, he's got 6 more shuttles. He needs, I think he's got like 3 Robos, which is very unusual. But anyways, this base is going to get saved once again. Alright, very surprising. Shuttle's gonna try to take the top left. This base is within the enemy line, behind enemy line. Beautifully stormed. That was an amazing shot, killing so many units, and Zealot will clear out that base as well. And look at Leta's supply. He doesn't have like much minerals at all. Alright, I guess these tanks will be to clear out this nexus because there's no pylon. But Shuttle continues to resupply. He's constantly remaxing, and he's ahead by about 65 supply compared to what's the enemy. There's going to be more stuff flying from the sky here. 1 Zealot, 2 Zealot, 3 and 4. And is that Shuttle having a high template? He's not able to cast any storms. He's going to go and hide in the corner. Shuttle getting sniped, so that's not very good. And Leta has even up a little bit the supply differential between 115 to 149. A single Dart Shuttle comes through to execute the SCVs, and I guess Leta will take care of it at some point in the future. Dart Shuttle going to work. He's got 3 kills. He's got need to kill more SCV. He's getting glitched in. At the last minute he dies without any additional attacks. Alright, the game is still going on fair and square. Leta want to take this 1 o'clock position with some of his tanks, and Shadow is gonna allow him to do it. He finally sends some Zealot over. He would cast a storm with one of his side templates, but he's forgotten to cast it. And now only Zealots remain, which will be easily clear out. The last forward tank is dead. I think those tanks will unseat and will start to move together with the Goliaths now. Yeah, Leta is spread a little bit too thin for my liking. I mean, he's got some strong position. If you look at the minimap, he's spread out in clusters, not really connected together. So that, I think, is the problem here for Leta. Anyhow, this base is gonna fall. It's got about 30 minutes of time. Sorry, I'm talking out of my dream now. Anyways, more attack. Namcraft, wake up, wake up. The 2 Dark Templars are very exciting to watch. Wake yourself up and enjoy these nice games between Shuttle and Leta. And at the last minute, the Dark Templars is going to get destroyed. Once again, Shuttle is leading still by about 70 supply compared to the enemy, or maybe 60 supply. More drops. This base has been harassed forever, like 6 times already. The last tanks will fall, so this base is going to get completely wiped out, and Leta allowed it to happen. He did not cover enough against the drops, I think. That was the initial problem. But Leta also took out one of the enemy spaces, so things are going to be looking very, very much even now. Alright, looks like Shadow want to clear this command center so he doesn't come back later in as a new command center Ghost. He's going to move the Dragoons over. At the top left, that base has been taken. Now, I don't think that Leta knows about the presence of that base because he was there momentarily earlier. He could just assume that nothing can get past his defenses. So he doesn't need to take the base. There's going to be a nice attack here. Good storm, but it eats a lot of SCVs in the process as well. And another SCV is going to get saved. One more high player was sniped. Alright, looks like Shadow's going to clear out the 7 o'clock position, but at what cost? We're going to be having a floated command center. Leta is gas strapped, but so is Shuttle. Shuttle's only mining base is the top left position. That's it. He's got no other mining bases, I think, that I know of.
근데 테란이 어느 정도 있다는 사실을 아예 모르고 있는 상황이라.
Some nice attacks in the middle of the map. This time we get clear out, and Shuttle once again with his 60 to 70 supply differential is having a nice lead here. The middle base has been completely mined out, and Leta's having problem attacking and getting new bases. He's not really into that. He's just mining what he has. Whereas, you know, if you look at another player like Light, he would expand at the same time as he's attacking. And they make sure that the expansion is going to get covered by the attack. Good storm. Of course, the tanks are not, targeting the initial as high temperature cask, whatever storm they want, with just a unit to buffer in front. It could be a Zelle, which would take a lot more hits, or Dragoons, which is not a bad idea either. Anyways, this drop is looking very, very strong. The Vulture is going to hide behind this. The cannon will complete at some point in the future. Alright, 32nd minute of the game, and the game is still going on. We have a tank here shouting. That tank will take out the last Dragoon, so I guess Shuttle will need to send something else from his gateway. I think the two players are playing a little bit too slowly for my liking, especially Leta. I feel like Leta could just be a little bit more proactive in taking out bases, moving the army together. He's moving too slowly and keeping the bulk of his force still at home, or rather at the middle base, and it's going to be some Hydras going to get sniped. Very interesting. Shadow's gonna come out here with Trooper Shuttle. What is he doing? He's gonna be going for Storm Drop. He's got an Archon. Nice scan by the Goliath, which would snipe any kind of Shuttle that flies across, but the Shuttle flies across anyway. He's gonna be to land something. He lands an Archon. He lands Hydra who casts a Storm against the SCV. That is a beautiful Storm. He casts another Storm that is against the Archon. He gets one tank. He gets two tanks. He storms the other tank on the left side, the right side, excuse me. He does one storm again. He's doing so much with so little. He destroys so many forces, and look at the supply differential after the battle is over. Shadow is now clearly in the lead with 75 supply difference. Very, very nicely done, but the game needs to be decided soon because he is mining very little from this top left. If this top left ever goes back to Leta's control, then Shadow will have very few mineral areas that he's actually mining from. Except that we know that he's already established his 1 o'clock position right here, so that will just continue to stay for a while. These tanks comes out randomly in a random location. Shadow will need to go back to take care of that tank. He does. He sends some of the forces back, and just a nice exchange between these two players. Hydras need to cast a storm. They're not casting. He casts one storm. He casts another storm against the D-Matrix tanks. Zelle coming in to take the splash damage. And those tanks are going to get destroyed. Yes, which is coming from the southern side. It's not able to do anything. And great attack to kill out the last of the tanks here. The Archon is buffing so well against any kind of like foreign attack here. What is happening on this map? I don't even know because my mind is somewhere else. There's a lot of storms getting casted. That tank will fall. And it seems like maybe Leta's running out of forces. 60 supply. Where are his units? I don't see them on the minimap. I guess they're either in the middle, like around this area here, or maybe towards the 10 o'clock position. The tank's gonna start to shell here. The Archon comes out. He gets one tank, but he will pull back because there's still more tanks from behind. Oh my god, a nice mine explosion. A lot of units were destroyed there. The 3 Archons alone will not be enough, but suddenly, all of a sudden, there's a lot of Dragoons coming from the northern base to help to save it. And Leta is gonna have to be careful. Archons are very strong. At the last minute, Shuttle pulls back. He loses an Archon in the process. Alright, looks like Leta is just scanning patiently. He just want to find a place where he could actually do some nice attacks. He doesn't have that many scanners because all the commands have been lifted over and destroyed in the process. Alright, Leta is amassing a lot of vultures. What is he trying to do? Maybe going for some kind of run by. These forces at the southern side are not being used at all.
확장 12시 특히 12시 꽤 오랜 시간 공격당하는데 공격당하면서 많이 괴로웠을 거예요.
Alright, a lot of Shadow's forces are coming out, and Leta is closing in, but before that, there's gonna be some nice drop. Hydrable is gonna eat up. He casts a storm against the vultures. He does some great storm against the tank, but looks like this drop is not as effective as the previous drop. He will wait here and wait for the chance to come back here for a dive. He will find a nice opening. Maybe this is gonna be the moment of truth here because there's a vulture there, but it's got some limits. Alright, the Nexus comes up at the 11 o'clock position, 11:30 almost. The Shuttle lands here and will cast a storm. No, it doesn't cast any storm. It's gonna go back. The game is getting way too long. Where are these probes going? There's some tanks waiting in the middle. And of course, Shadow being Shadow is not gonna know that. He will have to back up his probes momentarily. Some attacks happening on this highway. It's gonna be the moment for Shuttle to send the rest of his forces out. He's got a lot of forces. Leta is fearing yet another drop because he's not mining a lot. If you look at his mineral count, it's going up very slowly. He's got one single mining base, and Shadow has beaten up that base so many times already in the past, so that's really not good. Nice storm that is eating up a lot of mines and doing a lot of splash damage on the SCV, and this is helping Shadow to stay afloat here and to just continue on with this strategy. Dragoons coming out, clearing mines by hands manually. There's got to be another mine explosion. Before that, we have some Xenon and Shuttle coming through. He goes through, he's going to use one of the weaker Xenon to move back. He's going to cast a storm. Can he cast a storm? He could cast one storm on the vultures, but I feel like this kind of trade is not so good because his enemy is already aware of the situation. Probe's going to get transferred towards the new base. By the way, I really will apologize if you are hearing my cast and you don't understand a freaking word I just said, because it's exactly what's happening. I don't understand what I'm saying because I'm like half sleeping. My eyes are half closed, half open watching these games. These two lonely tanks are coming out for what? Because the armies of the enemy is everywhere. Every goddamn where. Some nice attacks in the middle. These Dragoons are gonna get pushed back. And absolutely nothing is happening. This game is so slow. So slow and meticulous. Both of these guys don't want to lose. They want to get that ticket to the round of 24. So they're playing as slow as possible. And their APM tells a story. Look at Shadow's APM. That's my APM. Leta's APM is a bit better than mine. 300 and something, 310 is not bad. We might have a final battle soon. A lot of forces coming through. There are very few tanks protecting these locations. Good storm just to eat up those vultures. The Dragoons are still here to support. He will need to clear out the last of the tank and then back down. There's no need to, you know, face against expensive tank that will not be used in the future. Nice attack on this base, and I don't think that Leta can save it. Dragoons coming through. This commensurate is gonna have to get forced to get lifted. What is Leta's respawn? He sends some tanks over, but GG from Leta. Shadow gets the ticket and round of 20. If you enjoyed this, guys, if you buy him a coffee, link to that is gonna be in the video description. I will see you soon. Bye.